I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. If you are watching on the replay, let me know where you're watching from. If you have not seen my previous videos, I did a refrigerator raid. I did a pantry raid. My girl Nikki is in the house. Terrence is in the house. Nikki, here we are, girl. We're always doing something. Nikki just worked out here just a little bit ago. She just left. And here we are. We're talking about what is in a nutritionist, a personal trainer, exercise physiologist freezer. So if you guys have any favorites that you love to keep in your freezer and you think it's a healthy option, then drop it in the comments. If you have any questions about anything that is in your freezer and you're like, I don't know, I love this, my family loves this, is it a healthy option? I don't know. Then please drop it in the comments and I can try to help you give my input on the matter. But in front of me, see, and this is gonna be the beauty of when I do get a new home, I'm gonna have an amazing setup, set up in my kitchen to where you guys are going to be able to see everything that I'm talking about, and it's not just going to be my face, okay? So it's going to be amazing, and we're going to manifest the most amazing home for my daughter and I. I'm all about this manifestation lately, so I've already got this home. I've already got the kitchen. It's going to be incredible. And we're going to start out by not blabbing anymore, and we're going to talk about some Dr. Praegers. This is the end-all be-all in terms of plant-based burgers. 100% I can say with certainty that if you are buying a plant-based burger from the store, I'm talking a lot with my hands tonight, the Beyond Burger, the Impossible Burger, there's a lot of different things out there. If any of you guys have any favorites, let me know in the comments. But this, from a nutritional standpoint, is going to be the best in terms of low glycemic, meaning high protein, lower in the carbs, higher in the fiber, and very good ingredients. Because typically when it comes to plant-based burgers, especially if it's like a veggie burger, you're not getting much protein. You're getting a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of filler, a lot of ingredients, and that is not the case with Dr. Praegers. You can pronunciate every ingredient, which is crucial if you're trying to stay healthy, and knowing that you're just getting clean nutrition. So you need to be careful with what type of Dr. Praegers you get if you are trying to stay with a high protein option. But the Perfect Burger and the All-American Burgers are your best options. There's the Perfect Turkey Burger that is another one as well. I know this is backwards for you guys, but you guys can get these at Kroger. I've seen them at Meijer. Walmart even has them. So Whole Foods. But it's interesting because Whole Foods doesn't have all of the different types. And I would say Kroger is going to give you the most options. So moving along, Daiya. Okay, so I am pretty much dairy-free, and my daughter is as well. So I always keep a Daiya frozen pizza. Typically it's cheese, but they didn't have cheese. So you love Emerge. Dr. Praegers is the bomb. I don't know if I've ever seen the Emerge. You'll have to, I wonder if you can upload a screenshot of that in the comments so other people can see it. Try to do that right now. I don't know if can you upload a photo to the comments while a live video is going on? If you can, try it. And I would love to look at it right now so I can explain to people what I see and why I think it's good or bad, or I'm sure it's not bad, but you never know. Okay, so the Daiya brand, it's not the best, it's not the worst, but in terms of frozen pizza, it's gonna be one of the very few that are dairy-free and have a meat-free option. And every now and then, Presley and I will have a play date with a little girl in the neighborhood that's dairy-free as well, and she is a vegetarian, so it's a perfect option if I don't wanna cook and they want pizza. So I typically don't eat it. Like, I would never make it for myself, but I'll eat it if I do make it, if that makes sense. So Presley loves chicken nuggets. I give her animal products when we're with family and we're at functions. If we go out to a restaurant, she will pretty much order what she wants, because I firmly believe that with children, I mean, you want to get them in the habit of what you are doing from a nutritional standpoint and an exercise standpoint, but you also want to let them be kids. And I don't even know who this football player is, but my family was telling me about him during Easter, and they were saying that his dad was like strict vegan, and his dad wouldn't let him like eat any junk food, and was just so overly protective and just uptight with him. And he like totally went off the deep end when he got older. And I believe it. You have to let children be children and enjoy life to some extent. Do you agree with me or not? Let me know. It's very silent tonight. I need some more interaction, okay? Quorn, so I was getting at that. I know there's a glare. Quorn has meatless nuggets. Again, are these the end all be all, the healthiest option? No, but I am trying to keep, as much plant-based protein in the house as possible. So instead of getting her chicken nuggets, which she'll eat sometimes, but thank you for agreeing, that's what I give her. She only eats it like once or twice a week for lunch, but there you go. Okay, so I always make like bulk when I cook. So I have some frozen lentil soup. If any of you guys are curious what my lentil soup recipe is, then put soup recipe please in the comments. And I'm just gonna go through all the things that I have. No rhyme or reason to the order. But True Whip is one of my absolute favorite things. Cocoa Whip is a great option too. These are both dairy-free options if you like whipped topping. So instead of Cool Whip or Ready Whip, these are two options you can get from Kroger. I'm a Kroger fanatic. I love Meijer as well, but Kroger seems to have both every time that I go. So True Whip has a vegan brand, or vegan line, I should say, and then they also have the regular and they have the skinny options. So moving on to our favorite ice cream. Dairy-free Halo Top is my absolute favorite. It's interesting because whenever I eat regular ice cream, which is like very rare, but if I'm on vacation with my family and my nephews are getting ice cream and my daughter's getting ice cream, I'll take a bite. And after you're used to the dairy-free for so long and you have regular, it doesn't even taste good. So I love the dairy-free line that Halo Top has. They have a keto line now, they have a regular line, but long story short, it's really good because it's higher in protein, lower in sugar, and there is a good amount of fiber. So the total carbs here, 19, fiber 7. So remember, we subtract the 7 from the 19. That's your net impact carbs. And then you have 4 grams of protein and only 6 grams of sugar. So from an ice cream standpoint, that's a really good nutrition label right there. And then what I would do to even lower the glycemic index of that even more is I would eat it right after I ate some protein, or I would add some peanut butter on top of that, and that would make it even healthier. Because remember, if we're trying to make something lower glycemic, then we want to eat it with healthy fat, we want to eat it with protein, additional fiber if we can, and then that's going to allow our blood sugar to not be spiking nearly as quickly, and it's going to be a little bit less significant with our spike. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is my pancakes. I always talk about my protein pancakes. If you guys have never seen my videos and you are wanting my recipe, I have 3 different recipes. I have a birthday cake recipe, I have a peanut butter banana, and then I also have a pumpkin. So drop recipe or pumpkin recipe or whatever you want in the comments if you do want those. And again, for those of you that are still watching live, thank you. And so moving on to vegetables, I am a Costco fanatic. So I always get the big bag of cauliflower rice. So it's in the freezer section and you get 5 of these per bag. Literally just break it up, put it in the skillet with a little bit of water, brown it, and then add my ingredients to it. And then I do the same with my broccoli. You get like 5 bags per large bag. And green beans, and then also the same with my berries. It's just so simple to stock up that way you don't have to worry about it. And side note that, you know, a lot of people think that frozen is not healthy. It's not as healthy as buying fresh, but you actually have more nutrition within, like fresh nutrition within the frozen vegetables than in the regular. Like, unless you know that I am getting this right from the farm, the time spent for that product to be sitting before you actually buy it is going to be a lot longer than if you buy a frozen product, produce product, and they get it and then they freeze it right away. So all that nutrition is that much more substantial, if you will, buying it frozen. I used to think that that was not a thing, but come to find out it is. Okay, so Be Free brand, it's the logo right there, it's backwards, I'm sorry. This is my absolute favorite brand of bread because it's low glycemic, which means it's high protein, it's high fiber, lower in the net impact carbs, and it's just quality bread. Now, is it going to taste doughy? Is it going to taste like your other bread, you know, that you're freshly slicing and it's the big loaf and it's straight out of the oven? No, but if you really are someone that loves that bread with your meal, then I would suggest this because it's such a healthy option and just very good quality brand. So moving on to, gosh, I've got my light shining pretty bright. Presley loves popsicles. So I have seen a lot of different popsicles out there. Long story short, if you get sugar-free, it's going to be artificially sweetened. If you get the products that do have sugar, you can get a high quality product, but it's all about balance. At the end of the day, it's all about balance. My child likes this brand, so I'm going to get her this brand. This is no sugar added, but I do believe there's artificial sweetener in here. Yes. So, and there's a ton of ingredients. The list goes on, and I can't pronounce at least half of these ingredients. So, what I do, I typically, when it's a little bit warmer, I make bulk of my own, you can barely even see it, of my own fruit juice blended. So that's what I use the berries for, is popsicle recipes, homemade popsicles. Okay, so with that, I basically just blend up berries and then I add fresh lemon and then I do a little bit of true lemonade. And so it's the packets of the lemonade that you can sprinkle in there, because there's raspberry lemonade, there's pink lemonade, there's strawberry lemonade. So I just blend it up in the blender with a little bit of ice and water and then pour it into these little suckers, and then there you go. So the majority of the time she's having that, but on occasion she wants a regular popsicle, and by golly, she's gonna get her regular popsicle. Same thing with ice cream. Majority of the time, because she has a sweet tooth, she's gonna get the dairy-free Halo Top. And then when we are out and about, when we're on vacation, when she's really deserving of a really big ice cream cone of whatever flavor she wants, then we're gonna go there. But I always tell my clients, you don't need to necessarily have everything on hand. And I do think that that's a very important side note, because with kids, yes, they do deserve to have fun foods and treats, but you don't need to have them readily available at every moment in time, because not only is that going to show them that you can have it whenever you want, but it's also going to be a very hard thing to turn away from if you are trying to stay healthy and trying to lose weight. Because if something is in your face every time you open the refrigerator or you open the freezer, then it's going to eventually make you cave at some point or another. And it's inevitable. I mean, we can only say no to something so many times before we are going to give in. And that's why you don't want to have it around you, because it's going to make it that much more difficult to say no to, okay? It's funny because whenever my nephews used to come over, they're like, this is when they were younger, they're like, where are all the, you know, chips and all the fun foods? And I'm like, I don't have them here, because if I want them, then I'm going to go get them that moment, you know, like just enough, one serving, one and done, move on. And that's kind of the last point I want to make here, because I think I got through everything, is that perfection is not a thing. So you need to have these little hiccups. You need to have the little cheats, because if you are waiting forever, like you are hitting everything to the T. You're hitting your exercise, you're hitting your nutrition, you're hitting your water, everything to the T, and you are so consumed with not cheating. And I have to be perfect at this. Then for one, that's not even going to be enjoyable. And you're going to be so stressed out because you're so focused on that. And number two, it's like your body eventually is going to cave. And when you do, then you're going to trigger that hunger hormone, because it's not had whatever it is that you're having. And your body's not going to be able to stop. It's going to be like, give me more, keep it coming. I want it over and over and over. You're going to wake up the next day, you're going to be craving that food again. Sugar, number one thing I can think about, carbs, sugar specifically. You feed into that hormone and that brain is triggered, and it's like, give it to me again and again and again. And so if you are embarking on a nutrition journey and you start and you're like 2 weeks in and you have a little cheat, like 2 little cookies, I'm actually all for that, because if you hit the ground running and you're like amped up and you are no cheats and you are all in for like 2 months, and then you cave and then you have something, you're not only going to want it that much more because it was that long since you've had it, but you're also going to like have your mindset be a little bit hard. You're going to be a little bit harder on yourself. So if you wait too long, then you're going to have that little hiccup and you're going to be consumed with that thought and think, oh my gosh, why did I do it? That was terrible of me. I'm a failure. And if you were just like having little hiccups along the way and little cheats along the way, then your body's used to it. Your mind is used to it, and you do it and you move on and all is well. Okay, so take home message is just don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Okay, so if any of you guys are interested in upping your nutrition, upping your exercise game, I do have only one spot open for online coaching. And I also offer phone consults. So if that is something that you're interested in and you just want to kind of talk it through and you want some pointers, then let me know as well. Privately message me, please, and we can go from there. But make it a great night, and I will talk to you soon.